One. Hey everyone, welcome back to the MadCap Report. I know we've been away for a while, but just like the Phoenix here, we rise from the ashes. I'm of course Fury, and with me as always is the ever amazing Frank Crime.
Hey guys, I'm back alive. Frank from the internet. God knows humans, but I have you here. And let's roll.
Yeah. First thing I want to talk about today is I came across this amazing new book called Focus, right here. This is a rather interesting book. It's written by Juan, who is a certified social cultural anthropologist, who's writing a comic, which is very interesting in itself and alone. But what's most interesting about this book is the protagonist, who's known as Focus, is autistic, which is a really interesting take. It's a really interesting book. I highly recommend you read it. If you look down in the description, there will be a link to some of the info right in there. You know, if I edited it right. But it's very interesting, and Tony Todd's actually helping her promote this book.
You mean the Candyman?
Yeah, absolutely. He's they're doing all kinds of things. She actually has interns who are autistic and everything. It's very interesting. I highly recommend you give it a read. It's very well written. It's got amazing artwork. Check it out.
For a great cause.
Absolutely. And I'll also include a link where you can get it from too.
Thumbs up here, man.
Well, speaking of comics, I'm going to do my comic picks of the week this week. From Marvel, if you are following us on Instagram, you already know what they are. But from Marvel is Spider-Man 850. Now this is, I'm not going to go too much into it because there's so much going on in this book. But we've got Green Goblin, we've got Spider-Gwen, we've got Spider-Woman in the background in some bits, Silk in the background.
Greatest hits.
Yeah, I mean, and of course there's an amazing bit of artwork here for Chadwick Boseman. His Rest in Power.
Rest in peace.
Yes, Rest in Power.
Kind of forever.
Yeah, absolutely. Very sad thing to happen recently. But awesome book. Check it out. And if you look at a lot of the Marvel titles right now, they are doing Chadwick Boseman at the top where it's commemorating him.
Oh, that's real respectful.
Yeah, it's very nice. From DC Comics, Wonder Woman, number 764. Now, I picked this one because it's 1D having to work with Maxwell Lord. Come on. I mean, it's basically her having to work with one of the worst scumbags in DC Comics. No one likes Lord.
Did she leave with her neck this time?
I mean, it looks really good.
That's an Infinite Crisis reference.
No, I know, but it is it's an excellent book. She's basically fighting in, I think it's Miami. The title is Mission Miami around there. See,
Miami.
but it's a very interesting book. Highly recommend you check it out. Like, I never go into too much detail about what's going on in the book because you want to read it yourself.
No spoilers here?
No spoilers. And now, this is my independent pick. It's from Dark Horse Comics. Neil Gaiman. I cannot believe I'm the one doing this, but Neil Gaiman is doing a book called Norse Mythology. This is the first issue. And basically, he is telling the actual story from Norse mythology in comic form.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, you've got Odin, the Allfather, you've got all the actual gods and everything, and of course, Thor in this is redhead, like he is in mythology. Sif is blonde and his wife, just like in the actual myths. I mean, it is just really well done, very enjoyable. And definitely something I highly recommend you check out if you're interested in mythology, because this is just really cool.
I mean, Neil Gaiman,
Yeah, I mean, that alone,
Sandman, Lucifer.
I mean, that alone we got people sold on that one. But that's pretty much my picks for the week so far. I'll be back with more later next week. But now you have been watching The Boys.
I ain't watching The Boys.
I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch it. I really want to. I hear it's excellent.
I would say this is some of the best TV going on right now, and that is saying a lot. I wasn't as much into the source material as a lot of people. I probably read the first trade, but let me tell you, man, like if you were a fan of the first season, like this one literally will blow it. Not literally, but that's a little Easter egg reference.
I don't even know. Don't spoil it for me. I want to see it.
Well, I do my best not to spoil it. As of right now, I think the season finale has just wrapped up. There were 8 episodes. This time, Amazon Prime decided to split it up in episodic form instead of binge-worthy like a lot of shows are. And I think that made it benefited from that. Just a little bit of anticipation each week. The last time I think I saw that executed was last year with The Watchmen.
Yes, that's another one I needed to watch. So there's a lot coming out on Amazon Prime. I'm just like, oh, like Invincible. The comic book Invincible is being turned into an animated series on Amazon Prime.
Oh man, that's another tale for a whole other.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that another time. But the trailer for that is out already. Check it out. We'll be talking about that trailer next week probably.
Another great series. Robert Kirkman, Walking Dead. This was, I think, maybe before Walking Dead around the same time.
Yeah, I think it was immediately prior than anyone did Walking Dead. And there may have been some overlap, I'm not sure.
And tie back into the source material, The Boys, again, though they were, when they were released independent-wise, they do a similar job of deconstructing the superhero genre
Similar to
vastly different ways.
Yes.
But getting back to The Boys, when we left off in season 1, the main protagonist, or the Superman-like character,
Homelander, I believe.
Homelander, who works for the Vault Company, which is, in this universe, I guess you would say, the Marvel behind the Avengers, or the DC behind the. So when we left off last time, Homelander, while probably being a crazy maniac, publicly he's the big, Boy Scout.
Yeah.
This season, a lot of the secret evil doings have been exposed. They got a character called Stormlander, who in the comic was one of the original Nazi creations. They kind of gender switched the roles. Now I love it, the new love interest of Homelander.
Ooh. Should be interesting.
And actually...
Yeah, well, let's not give too much away.
So anyway, it deals a lot with, to wrap it up, it deals a lot with the characters coming into their own, mainly figuring out the dynamic between their personal and their public relationship. Homelander has a kid now. The boys, Billy Butcher, knows his wife's alive now.
Which is all that's revealed in the trailer, so.
And so, all I say is...
Check it out.
Check it out. Highly recommend it. As you can tell, I'm trying to duck spoilers. So,
yeah, we'll wait a little while.
And I'll give you this explosive ending.
Okay. I we'll give it a little while and then we'll have a proper discussion on that once
Yeah.
I've been able to catch up.
Yeah. Better hurry because the internet is going wild.
Oh, I know. I've had to turn off notifications from some of the websites I follow. Free Guy coming out in December. I don't know if those of you who've seen the trailer, you know what I'm talking about. If not, again, links down the bottom in the descriptions. Free Guy is this movie about a character in an NPC, a non-playable character in an open world video game. I think it's an MMORPG.
Yeah.
Called Free City, where he suddenly basically awakens and decides, well, he's not going to play by the rules anymore, and eventually comes to know he is a video game character. It's starring Ryan Reynolds, which alone makes it worth seeing, I think. Just because his ability to play characters like that is out of this world.
I guess the first thing I thought about was maybe what a younger me would have thought of a GTA movie. Like,
Yeah.
They like not as like say like, but with that added twist of being the sidewalk character. You know?
Yeah.
Like what is that character doing?
To me, it reminds me, believe it or not, of Saints Row.
I was thinking that.
Yes.
Saints Row.
Okay,
Yeah.
The city, how crazy everything is in that city. I'm looking at it, I'm going, Saints Row, 2 or 3. Not 4, but 2 or 3.
Very underrated series, by the way.
Yeah, one of my favorite video game series. Mandalorian, Season 2 trailer. When we left off The Mandalorian, we discovered that the Darksaber was in the hands of an Imperial. Now, though, we pick up, he's trying to find, and this is all revealed in the trailer, so I don't feel bad about saying this, but the Mandalorian is trying to find the Jedi to give the child, aka Baby Yoda, to them to train because he's more sensitive. And basically, we see more of this world evolve. It looks like it's going to be a lot of world building. We're going to see parts of the Star Wars galaxy we've never seen before. We're going to encounter things we've never encountered before. We're going to get a better look at the seedier underbelly of Star Wars, which is kind of exciting. It actually premieres Friday the 30th of October. I am so excited about this. I am a huge, huge Star Wars fan. I've been a fan of Star Wars since I was little. And to be able to see this, I wasn't a huge Mandalorian fan until I came across the Mandalorian stories in like the Clone Wars. Right?
Yeah.
That really opened my eyes to this big, interesting culture within Star Wars. And of course, there are rumors. I'm going to touch on a few rumors for Season 2 real quick. There are rumors we're going to see Sabine Wren from Rebels. Ahsoka Tano has pretty much been cast.
Nice.
Rosario Dawson.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna disagree with that.
Yeah, she's going to be Ahsoka. There's a rumor Bo-Katan might show up too. Played by Katie Sackhoff from Voister.
Nice. Okay.
And we've confirmed that Timothy Olyphant's in it. Gina Carano's returning in her character from last season. I'm just like, this cast just keeps getting better and better. Now, from what I'm hearing, the reason they're introducing Ahsoka, Sabine, and the others is they're going to do a spin-off. It's like a new Rebels show with Ahsoka and Sabine, which would be really kind of cool. That would give you access to another Mandalorian who's a little different. She was born a Mando, so she's not a foundling like him. She can go by. If I remember correctly from how they're telling this story, the ones who were born to like the proper clans have a different set of rules. They can't take the helmet off. It's the foundlings who can't. Now don't quote me on that. Do not quote me on that. But I'm basing this on what I've seen in Rebels and what I've seen in Clone Wars. And to me that makes a certain amount of sense.
I'm noticeably like.
He's behind.
So I'm trying to like sit here like, okay, but I'm dodging the spoilers too, so I'm just like, I'm getting the news as you're telling it to me, I'm just like, oh wow, so
Yeah.
I can use a proxy for the audience right now. Like,
Yeah.
I'm getting the news as it's happening.
Yeah. You need to catch up on this.
I know, right?
Oh.
It's highly anticipated.
Oh, absolutely. And now I'm going to touch on one of my favorite characters, and you know this is one of my favorite characters from Marvel.
Yeah, with it.
And one of the last kind of major characters Stan Lee made before he left Marvel, which is She-Hulk. As I'm sure a lot of people know, there's a She-Hulk television series for Disney Plus in pre-production right now. They have cast She-Hulk according to certain sources. We had, it's pretty much confirmed. I haven't been able to find an official confirmation. That may have changed by the time this airs. But from what I'm hearing, it's Tatiana Maslany, I think is how her name's said. But she was an Orphan Black.
Great show, by the way, BBC.
Yeah, and the info was all originally reported by Deadline. Deadline.
And I, as a fan of that series,
yeah, she's brilliant, isn't she?
She plays multiple versions of herself. You haven't had a chance to check her out. Orphan Black, great British show, great show in general, great sci-fi and great acting. And
but because if you need an actress like that to play Jen Walters / She-Hulk.
Yeah,
because when she's Jen Walters, she's one thing.
Yeah.
But when she's She-Hulk, she's tall. How was they put it in the 90s cartoon? Tall, lean, and evergreen, and Gamma is a girl's best friend. She was like a cartoon version of a pinup model almost. Whereas she was a little more meek and everything as Jen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the comic books, this is a character who got kicked out of Avengers Mansion for partying too much.
I can tell. I can see her portraying the character less. I can see her portraying the character less physically and just like as.
I think less CGI a lot.
Well,